Good day to you, lecturers. I hope you're having a nice day. This is my presentation. The entrepreneur I picked is Tony Fernandez. From one ringgit to the skies, the Air Asia revolution, Malaysia's 50 richest, according to Forbes. And the most shocking fact was he bought Air Asia for one ringgit. One ringgit. Alright, wanna know more? Let's head on to his early life first. Alright, Tony Fernandez was born in Kuala Lumpur in 1964. Right, you know, speed past that, he studied in London School of Economics, where he's also a member of the Association of Chartered Accountants (ACCA) in 1996. And then numbers and models wasn't his thing, so he wanted to have some music uh, embedded into his career. So he went to join Warner Music Asia in 1999 as a vice president. But then the industry kind of faltered, kind of was losing its grip in business. That's where he went to find a new job, and then he met Richard Branson, his mentor. He took inspiration from him. I've always admired Richard Branson. He broke the rules. He made business fun. So he got his mentor. He had his plan. All right, let's move on to his entrepreneurship journey. Tony's entrepreneurship journey. What is entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship is basically, you identify opportunities, and then you take the risk into seizing those opportunities, and you build values based on your risks and opportunities. Basically, it's the art of creating values by solving problems, taking risks, and seizing opportunities. Tony embodied this to his core. He took a dead airline and revived it, not just to make profit, but to democratize air travel. Now, you guys have to remember that Tony Fernandez launched AirAsia as a low-cost carrier with a rallying cry. Now, everyone can fly, right? He slashed unnecessary costs. He used a single aircraft model, just one plane model. Maximized the plane usage, no waste at all, right? And he drove direct online sales, meaning he wanted to get the most sales out of it possible. It was very lean, very fast, very affordable. The very definition of the Schumpeterian innovation. AirAsia catered to emerging markets across ASEAN, where demand was high but affordability was low because not everyone had the money. Tony didn't offer flights; he offered freedom. All right, let's move on to what the conditions in Malaysia. What's it like? Government policies were slowly liberalizing, and the middle class was growing, which means the factor of tourism is, getting bigger and bigger. Tony saw the chance for everybody to fly, not just him. He wasn't reinventing aircraft; he was reinventing access. Entrepreneurship in this context wasn't just business; it was economic justice. Government handed out support for small medium enterprises, or SME, as an aid. The economy has to thrive, which is why they did that. All right, let's move on to Tony's theories behind the strategy. Like the theories I think that applies to him. All right, first let's start off with Schumpeter's innovation theory. He disrupted an entire industry. He just came in like a meteor, right? Which made headlines. And then, next up was Kirchner's alertness theory, where he spotted an opportunity everybody ignored. He saw something in which everybody thought was, this is too risky. I'm not gonna do it. So he took it. And then lastly, the effectuation theory. He used what he had, pivoted fast. He had his card in hands. Doesn't look good, but he used it, and he built something legendary, something massive. Now, this is his characteristics. This is what made him successful, which is why I think we should all learn from it. He was a visionary, basically. He had big visions. He imagined how it's gonna go. He saw something good in something, very risky to a lot of people, which is a good thing. The next step was a risk taker. He wasn't scared to put his feet in front of the other, which is why it's a good characteristic to have. Lastly, he was resilient. This is the most vital part of any characteristics to have if you want to be successful. You have to be resilient. You have to persist. Don't give up. This was his contributions to Malaysia. It wasn't just contributing to the economy. He created jobs, drove tourism up, supported regional trade. Social changes. He made flying accessible to B40 groups. He was opening up education for everybody. So if they want to study in London, he gave them a chance, right? So that's a good. And then the last thing was digital transformation. He didn't just stop at planes. Who would stop at planes? He pushed AirAsia into a tech-driven ecosystem, pivoting during COVID into food delivery. Right, everybody was stuck in homes in COVID, and then super app transactions, digital banking, all that. He made it happen. That's Tony